All right, guys. This cop just stopped this dude with a bike cart, putting his gloves on. All the dude was doing was walking down the street.
How's it going, sir?
How you doing? So this guy was just walking down the street. Cops pulled over.
Sitting on probation.
Didn't look like he was doing any crime. He was just walking. He shouldn't be answering questions either. He should say, I don't answer questions. He's just an easy target, low-hanging fruit, as Ike Peters says. But he shouldn't be answering questions without a lawyer. So now he's talking friendly to the guy while the guy's sitting on the sidewalk. And his gloves are on, which means he was getting ready to start searching. He's putting his gloves on when I walked up, which means he's getting ready to go. Did he just ask him about probation? Oh yeah, he's asking him about his probation. He's talking way too much. Now he's saying he was framed. He shouldn't be talking at all. You know, probation, yes. For what? Boom. Asked him some other question. No. And he was talking, he was complimenting his bike, and he said, yeah, you got quite a bit of trash there, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's trying to get friendly with him, and then he starts asking him the fishing questions. And when he gives him the answers that's going to get him hemmed up, the cop will hem him up. So that's what they do. They throw the bait and the hook out there, and then they slowly reel it in. And as these people who don't know their rights start biting on it, boom, they snag them and reel them in. People say, well, if they're on probation or parole, that's true, but that doesn't mean you can't limit your answers. You know what I mean? Direct answers. That's it. And he's just chattering. So now you're gonna check him. Why? Because low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit. He's probably gonna go to. It's a sad thing, you know. Easy target guy walking a bike down the street. And they'll say it's a bike with no light, blah, blah, blah. But that's just an infraction. That's not like a felony or a misdemeanor to have no light on your bike. That was the only crime I saw, was no light on the bike at night. But again, that's not a misdemeanor or a felony. That's an infraction. Looks like it might be a small cell phone. Something with blood on it. Hope it's not cotton. It could mean you know, I don't know, maybe cut his finger. So I was trying to get the unit number. Oh, it's 571. So we're on Orange Street, right at, I believe this is Colton in front of me, but it's on Orange Street in Redlands. 571 is the unit number. It's on Monday, June 17th, around, I don't know what time it is, 9, 10, 10:30, something like that. This guy's talking way too much. Remember, guys, you do have the right to remain silent, and you do have the right to have an attorney present before any questioning. And that's at any time, man. People say, well, that's when this or that's when that. No, that's at any time. The right to remain silent, the right to have an attorney present before questioning. That's a right that's afforded you at all times. But the new thing is now, they don't have to read you your rights. You know what I'm saying? You have to know them. Well, I'm telling you your rights. So the cop keeps looking in the camera. Why, I don't know. He's really looking at the. So now he has him seat again. So it doesn't look like he found anything on him. Except for that, he's looking at something he picked up. And I'm not trying to help people lie or be criminals, but they find hypodermic needles on you. Well, I'm a diabetic. Do you have medical for that? No, I'm a diabetic. That's all you have to say. You know what I mean? You don't really have to. This guy's just, he's in Jabberjaw the whole time I've been here. He really doesn't have to, you know, and this cop just came off a traffic stop. When I was driving down, I seen his cherries and berries, as California Guardian called them. And so I come up and check out the traffic stop, and as I came up, the car pulled off, then he pulled off, he did a U-turn, came by, was looking at this guy, did another U-turn and popped him right here. And the only thing he was doing was walking down the street with his bike. But again, you know, the low-hanging fruit, the poor, the unfortunate, less fortunate, they're easy targets. But people will use the excuse of, well, they gotta look for drugs, or cops gotta do. You know what? It's still the United States of America, and you're still innocent until proven guilty. That includes when you're just walking down the street. Well, cops have a, I've heard one person told me cops have a sixth sense. Well, they have a sixth sense. They kind of know. No, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. They're not clairvoyant. They can't. They don't have a crystal ball. And that guy. Because sometimes I assure you that they find nothing, and so far he's found not a whole lot. Looks like a tube with a push rod. I think he picked up a tube or a push rod. Couldn't tell. It looked like a tube and a push rod. Now he's going to check his cart. Why? Because he can, I guess. I don't know. So this poor guy doesn't have the right to be secure in his property. Don't, you know, and I want to yell out and say, you don't have to talk to him, blah blah blah. But I don't want to obstruct, you know, or delay, because if he's asking this guy questions, I don't want to distract this guy and then delay the cop asking questions, because that's how they'll go. They're really quick on that, or obstruct. Just walking. That's what he said. Just walking home.
Mike's? Mountain Mike's Pizza?
No, the Domino's there. It's home in my wheel.
And again, now he's telling him where he's coming from. I'm coming from there. Where are you going? Over there. Where are you coming from? Back there. Where are you going? Up there.
Yeah, pretty busy. Luckily it was cooler this morning.
I'm a summer baby, so I like it.
So now they got 3 cops for a less fortunate guy just pushing his bike along. You know, the cops are like, hey, there's a rainbow trout, if we can get that one. And again, I'm at the expense of sounding cynical or judgmental or whatever. I saw what happened. The guy was just walking his bike along. He wasn't doing nothing. He didn't jaywalk. Well, you can't jaywalk anymore in California. But he was just walking along. That's all he was doing. Just walking his bike along, you know. And it irritates me because if you're less fortunate in America, to law enforcement, many times, less fortunate means less human. Well, you don't have rights that we have. Less American, you know. You don't have the right to the Fourth Amendment. We're still going to search you and your property. You don't have the right to, you know, to live free in this country. You're less fortunate. That's kind of how I feel sometimes. 'Cause all this guy was doing was walking down the street. That's his crime, is being less fortunate. His crime is being with less money than others in America, being not as successful as other people. That's his crime. So everything else is just gravy.
Nonsense. There's a trash can right there. Like, why would you not? Just blows my mind. I don't understand it.
It's just sad, you know. And if you're less fortunate,
Get rid of that photo destruction, okay? We should be property. Okay? Alright, bro, appreciate it.
see? So it was a shakedown. It was a shakedown of somebody who's less fortunate. Shakedown. That's what this was. This was a shakedown. They had no reason to stop this guy other than to shake him down. That's all they did. All he was doing was, his crime was walking down the street at night when a police car comes by. That was it. Huge felony, walking at night. But hopefully with the camera here, we kept him out of jail tonight.
Yeah, potentially did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's watching my camera the whole time. So let's see where they go. Yeah, he was watching my camera the whole time. So I think the camera kept him out of jail because they knew they didn't really have RAS to stop him and search him and whatnot. Oh, well, he didn't have a bike light at night. Okay, that's an infraction. Yep, they kept going. All right, guys.